Research led by Roger Beatty has shown that highly creative individuals possess a unique neural architecture. Instead of the default mode and central executive acting as rivals, they show increased functional connectivity during the creative process. The default mode acts as a generative engine, throwing out wild, spontaneous associations and strange memories, while the central executive acts as the editor, pruning those ideas and shaping them into a coherent melody or a rhythmic verse. This is the flow state made visible. It is the moment when the me, the self-narrative of the default mode, blurs into the task of the executive network, creating a singular, unified experience where the creator and the creation are no longer separate. But the power of the default mode is a double-edged sword. When this network becomes hyperactive or sticky, the internal theater can turn into a prison. In patients suffering from clinical depression, researchers have found that the default mode doesn't deactivate properly when they try to focus on external tasks. The toggle switch is jammed. This results in what psychologists call rumination, a relentless, self-focused loop where the brain replays failures and regrets with the same intensity as a survival instinct. Because the medial prefrontal cortex is overactive, every thought is filtered through a negative self-bias. The person isn't just sad. They are trapped in a biological loop where the brain refuses to look outward, consuming its own dark energy to maintain a narrative of inadequacy. Understanding this has changed the way we treat mental health, moving toward therapies like mindfulness and even certain pharmacological interventions that aim to reboot the network and restore the healthy antagonism between our inner and outer lives. Ultimately, the default mode network reveals that we are not just passive observers of reality, but active predictors. The reason your brain burns so much energy at rest is that it is constantly building a model of the world based on your past experiences, so it can guess what will happen next. It uses the quiet moments of your life to update its software, ensuring that when the external world finally does demand your attention, you have a context to meet it. We are the only species known to spend so much of our lives away from the present moment, lost in the default of our own making. This network is the biological foundation of the human soul, the place where memory meets imagination, to create the persistent, flickering sensation of being a self in a vast, unpredictable universe. Recommend this